Hello everyone. Welcome to the next installment of Am I the Asshole? If you like hearing Reddit stories, it would greatly support the channel if you could give a thumbs up or subscribe. Now, let's dive into our first story right away. Am I the asshole for not allowing my brother over for Christmas? My dad moved into our house because he's disabled. My older brother stopped by one day right after Thanksgiving, and my wife overheard them trash talk her about the way she was dressed and how she's bitchy. My brother has been banned from the house since, and my dad got a serious conversation about not gossiping about my household with family members, or he will be on the street. My wife is still semi-livid at my father for saying those things, so she refuses to interact with him or cook for him. He complained about her cooking and why she was bitch. She told my dad, "That's the food I made. Eat it or starve." My dad has never cooked or cleaned for himself. My wife does call him pathetic, but that's because my dad is. For Christmas, my brother still isn't allowed over, and my wife is barely on speaking terms with my dad. I won't intercede for him or make him special food he likes. His disability doesn't keep him from cooking for himself, and he's been bummed out. I told him that is his own fault for never learning to take care of himself. Not the asshole. Only if your wife is happy, will you be happy. If her cooking and behavior bothers your dad so much, tell him to go live with your brother. Problem solved. Then both your dad and brother can be miserable together. Not the asshole. Disabilities are not and will never be an excuse for bigotry and sexism. Keep your brother out of the house and tell your dad to apologize to your wife if he wants to stay. Happy wife, happy life, and make sure your dad knows that. Not the asshole. For the selectively religious, there is also Genesis 2:24. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Not the asshole. For the brother situation, but might be TA for letting dad stay. IDC who you are. If you disrespect my wife, you will not be welcome in my house, disability or not. Am I the asshole for letting my cousin play white elephant? My 30 male parents threw a Christmas party, and we always play white elephant/dirty Santa. We brought 2 gifts for my wife, 27 female, and I. While my wife was feeding the baby, the game started. My little cousin said he forgot a gift, so I told him he could use one of ours. When my wife came out, I told her, and she seemed fine, and we played together. At the end, I picked a different gift to steal than she wanted, but again, she seemed fine. We got home, and she told me she was really upset that she picked out the gifts to bring and then didn't get a change to play. It's just a game, and she didn't say anything in the moment, so I'm confused why she's mad now. All the gifts were just stuff that we can buy, whenever. I really didn't think she'd mind that I let my cousin play instead. Am I the asshole? Yep, you're the asshole, a pretty major one. You displayed that you're inconsiderate and thoughtless. Your wife was feeding the baby, and your family couldn't wait another 15-20 minutes to start. So y'all just went on ahead and played without her while she was feeding the baby. Your wife got 2 gifts instead of 1 for the game because she clearly wanted to play too. But y'all went on without her because she had responsibilities as a mom, and y'all were too impatient to wait. You should have asked to see if the family could just hold on for a minute. Your cousin comes in with piss-poor planning, and you bail them out by giving your wife's gift to them to pass off as their own so they could play in the game. You gave away your wife's spot instead of yours. So now y'all are sharing your 1 spot instead of the 2 that y'all should have had. But you gave it away to your cousin, who knows about the tradition and failed to get anything for the game, and coasted on the excuse of he's 15, like he's some kind of helpless child. To make matters worse, not only did you give away her spot and robbed her of a chance to play in a fun Christmas game, you had a chance to steal an item, and instead, what she wanted, you got what YOU wanted. So she didn't get a chance to really play in the game, and she didn't get a chance to try and get anything that she might have wanted from the game. To make it even worse, you're now telling us you basically didn't care with the, "It's just a game." I don't know why she's so mad. She's mad because she bought the 2 gifts, wrapped it herself, and was excited to play the game for the gifts she bought for your family. But because you didn't give a F, she missed out on something she was excited for, planned for, and bought 2 gifts for, so you both, BOTH, could play the game. But as fate would have it, she had to feed the baby. And it's not like she can tell the baby to F off and wait, because they don't work that way. So she had to leave the game, find out her husband gave away her spot, play the game with him, and watch as her husband steals an item that he doesn't care about when she had something she wanted from the game. I'd be pretty effing salty if my partner was that inconsiderate too. She didn't make a scene at the party because she's a woman of class and maturity and knows better than to make a scene in front of family. So in a show of respect for you, which you better step up in showing her respect, she waited until y'all could talk about it privately to discuss how what you did made her feel. Please don't be a further AH and dismiss her and her feelings. They are valid, you were inconsiderate, and if I were you, I'd be working on an apology. It may not seem like a big deal to you, but this is the type of thing that women notice and remember. And enough of these things can spell the end of your relationship if you ain't careful. Because people don't really like not being thought of by the person they love the most in the world. It's always the little things, man. Yup to all of this. Also, it's just a game is always an interesting reply. If it's just a game, then why didn't you forfeit your turn and wait for your wife? You're the asshole. You could have given up your own spot, lol. Why did it have to be her spot? If you were taking turns playing and she wanted a certain gift, just pick the one she wanted. Clearly, you don't care about the gift, and she does, so what's the harm in making her happy? You're the asshole. There is nothing worse than being stuck in a room feeding a baby while everyone else has fun. First, you allowed the game to start without her. And second, you gave her gift away. Terrible behavior on you and your family's part. You're the asshole. She didn't say anything because you were in front of family, and she didn't want to start an argument and embarrass you both. It was kind of selfish to give away your wife's gift without asking her, and your family could have waited for her to come back before playing. Your cousin also forgot to bring a gift and should have sat out. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.